your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100 plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like Generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100 plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500 plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100 plus authorized training partners and 50 plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices.
Hello everyone, welcome you all. I'll be sharing my screen so we can start with the session. Please allow me a minute. And here we go. I hope my screen is visible to you all. And thank you so much again for joining today's session. A warm welcome to you all to Global Skill Development Council AI Studio, solving coaching and learning challenges with generative AI, with a theme that is reimagining learning experiences and academic innovation through AI. My name is Preetham. I'll be there as a host. If you need any assistance during the session, feel free to reach out to me over the chat box and I'll make sure that I'll take care of it. So we have this incredible panel of speaker aligned for this entire series, which is scheduled from 3rd November to 7th November 2025 with the time slot that is 7:30 a.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Singapore time. So please do join us for all the remaining sessions as well. Before I could hand over the session to our speaker today, would love to quickly introduce our hosting organization, GSDC. So we are known as Global Skill Development Council. We are vendor agnostic, vendor neutral, and we are globally recognized certification body. We are accredited by ANSI and APICB. We do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us, and we have certified more than 250,000 professionals worldwide. We have 500 SMEs. Those are subject matter expert, industry experts. They work with us closely to design our deliverables. Also, we are associated with 1,000 multinational corporates and 500 Fortune companies and 50 plus universities across the globe. And I'm very proud to inform you all that we do have 100 plus authorized training partner across the globe. We have partner in Asia, Africa, Canada, America, and many other countries. So I would love to thank you, those who have joined us through our training partner channel. If you all looking for any training program for yourself, I'll share the link in the chat box of our training partner. You can reach out to them to have an inquiry about it in case if you're looking for any training program for yourself. A special thanks to our official media partner, World Press Hub, for covering all our events and press releases. So I would love to quickly introduce you all to the GSDC AI Studio that recently we have introduced this. So what you'll be getting here, you'll be getting 100 plus live sessions on AI on monthly basis, which is led by global expert. In that you'll be getting 4 daily sessions, 45 minutes of impactful session, which is led by global experts, and you'll be getting hands-on learning also. where you will be getting these sessions. You can directly learn from the AI leaders around the world. Also, whatever the things that you have learned in that particular session, you will be applying that concept immediately. And if you have any doubts or any question, that will be resolved instantly. A certification ready and this training aligned industry standards for job ready skills. So you can access this for 30 days with no cost. It's completely free for initial 30 days, where you'll be getting 80 plus live sessions per month and full access to GSDC AI Studio. And the next step is that you can opt out it for $109, where you'll be getting all these benefits, a lifetime access, 80 plus live sessions each month, access to GSDC Studio, full access, a free GSDC membership, access to all our physical events, and you'll be getting access to our LinkedIn profile improver. And the third step is that you can opt out for GSDC certification lifetime membership with $100, which is limited time offer, of course. So here we'll be getting GSDC certification, all benefits of lifetime membership, personalized coaching, capstone project plus AI tool, GSDC Copilot, and assessment tool. So here is a lot of benefit that you will be getting with GSDC AI tool membership. I'll be sharing the learning advisor's email in the chat box. Feel free to reach out to her for more information and to help with the accessing this tool. So as I mentioned earlier in my previous slide, we have a 100 plus certification portfolio. So our current certification portfolio holds certification on L&D HR, generative AI, genetic AI, so project management, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and so on. So in case if you're looking for any of the certification in order to upskill yourself or stay industry relevant, feel free to reach out to a learning advisor or check our website www.gstconsult.org to get more information and to check all the offerings that GSTC has for all of you. So without any further delay, I would love to tell you all today we'll be having Dylan Vijarante with us. He's a head of innovation at Hatton National Bank, and he'll be taking us through the topic that is reimagine learning and development with generative AI from workflow automation to scalable knowledge delivery. So I just quickly tell you all more about Dylan. So he's a dynamic technology leader with over 15 years of experience in AI, ML, blockchain, and decentralized finance. He has designed AI driven solution for global financial institute and blockchain based remittance innovations in Sri Lanka. His MPhil research the impact of DeFi and global inequality and economic diplomacy reflects his dedication to advancing financial inclusion through emerging technologies. A recognized international keynote speaker, he continues to drive innovation in AI, DeFi, and fintech to shape a more equitable global economy. So we are delighted to have you, Dylan, with us for this session. A warm welcome to you, and you can have the handover of the virtual mic now. Thank you.
Thank you, Preetham. Hi, everybody. I hope you can see me and my slides as well. So I'm Dylan here. Thanks for the thanks, Preetham, for the introduction. So, in my career, I started like years back, like 15, 16 years back in financial sector. It's an unexpected thing. So from that onwards, something that I realized is that banking is more like it's all about workflows. So I was wondering like what happening behind these computers, all these recorders, records, this and that. It was magic for me while I'm students, university students, being a software engineer and or maybe like a software engineering student or maybe like just students. I have a curiosity how these things happen in the financial sector. I have seen that money is being printing this and that. But eventually when I start to work in a bank, then I realize it's nothing but it's workflows. So this workflow is consistent, is something that built on top of huge knowledge. So that is why in banking and financial sector, which is highly regulated, and also which require a lot of transparency, and also it's built on top of trust. To continue this process, it requires a lot of knowledge. So this knowledge, mostly I can split it into structural knowledge and tacit knowledge as well. This tacit knowledge components comes with experience. So that is why whenever 30 years old, bank underwrite credits, and whenever newcomer underwrite credits, you might get totally different outcomes because that comes with experience, this and that. So we had an era, I think you might have been, I don't know if you are like millennials or maybe like a Gen Z. If you are a Gen Z, of course you are, we all today using ChatGPT and Gemini to learn things, and even millennial this and that, we all use that. But I born in 90s, so I'm a millennial. So my time we spent with like this first few photographs. So we spend time with teachers. A teacher comes to the classroom, and whatever the knowledge the teacher has communicates to us in a verbal form or textual form. It communicates to us. So whatever teacher tells, we get that as truth. So sometimes, yes, of course, we do argue, and we go to different discussion. Then again, it is like a one-way communications. Always knowledge comes from teacher, or maybe a book, or maybe a different research. Then again, teacher comes and communicates. And later on, once I come to university, I experience this learning management system, LMS. So we go to online portal, somebody comes and lecturing, and we are learning. It is no much difference than a classroom. The only difference is mode of delivery. No other differences for me. You might can have different definitions, but for me, it's only a change of mode of delivery. Somebody comes online and deliver a content same as I do today, right? So that was a sort of like revolution thing sometimes back, because it reduced traveling. It allows people to travel wherever they want and study. So that is why this uh, Coursera and edX, all these platforms came to the picture. People went there and just learn and got the certifications even. And or maybe they just visit to Wikipedia or different website and learn. And eventually, what has happened today is that so you can learn anything. So whatever you want, you can just visit a Copilot or maybe like a Gemini or ChatGPT, whatever you like, DeepSeek. You can just prompt or maybe ask, hey, I want to learn medicine or maybe biology. I want to learn maybe neuroscience, this and that. You can learn. The difference between this, somebody comes and teaching you and you are learning is that, so this is not one way communication. You initiate and you learn whatever you desired. Initially, when you are in a classroom, you can't learn whatever you desire. You have to learn what's in the syllabus. But in this Gen AI era, the syllabus is comes from you. You decides what's the anatomy that I want to learn, what's my syllabus, and you learn. So recently, I wanted to learn how this dispute handling, what do you call this, dispute resolutions handles in other countries, not in Sri Lanka but in other countries. So few things that I could do, I could call to my few colleagues in working who are working in overseas banks and ask them how you do that dispute resolutions and how you do that effectively. Or I could go through a different material or maybe web page or maybe article and read it and learn it. Instead, I could chat with ChatGPT or maybe Gemini and learn it. So instead, what I did was I typed a scenario saying that I met an incident. I want to handle dispute resolutions in an efficient and better manner, or maybe best way. Then it gives me like a sort of most practical or maybe like friendly answers in a way that I can understand. Since I am coming from a technical background, I am not familiar with much of the banking and financial terms, even though I am in the financial sector today. So I can ask ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, think that I am a grade 5 student, or maybe I don't know anything about the financial background. I'm coming from a software engineering background, but I want to learn this how to handle dispute resolution. Then it can fine tune how and even the change the tone to come how to communicate to you and teach these subjects. Then again, if you are not satisfied, that's fine. You can argue with that. So I believe you have some of you, or maybe most of you, have gone through this similar experience. There, what happened is teacher is not the generative AI or maybe not the AI. Teacher is your desire, or maybe like what you wants to achieve is your teacher. The role of teacher becomes yourself then again. So so far at the bank, what we were doing, we were automating processes. Basically, If a customer comes and wants to open an account or maybe apply for a credit card or bank loan, what we were doing, we were automating these processes. So now we can, give a mobile banking application, let customers to apply for a, bank account, or maybe they can come to our website, apply for a bank account. Then we can do the different processes, which is automated. We can use Gen AI or maybe, with rule-based approach and automate the process. So that is what we were focusing, but we were not focusing how we can automate our learning. For example, I have been in a couple of organizations. Most of these people or my colleagues, they were forced to go through the different training programs. If not, they might, lose some their training KPIs. I have been working in a global consulting company, tech consulting company. There, I had monthly KPI. What do you call the KPI for learning? Or maybe they have given a LMS, so I have to go there and complete different certification and learn. So that is basically then again comes towards one-way learning. So sometimes I might not be interested what I'm learning. I'm just going through that, right? So, but now we are in a culture, we are learning what we want to do, and also based on experiences that we are facing in day-to-day life. So in banking, we have automated payment, onboarding, credit decision, and all that, and we are still using PowerPoints and PDFs or maybe circular documents, this and that. Even though we build different smart organization, businesses, or maybe like super techs, but it's good thing to, it's good area to think how we can build smart organization, and now we can automate this learning process of these people within the organization. So in corporate, these are some of the generic information. 80% of corporate learning contents become, absolute within 18 months, no longer valid maybe after 18 months. Most of the organizations, they are, confused between training and learning most of the time. So what they are, mandating as training and learning KPIs, most of the time subject related trainings. Or maybe per se, if you're a software developer, they might mandate you secure software development, or maybe they might mandate you OSAP top 10, go through this program and get the certifications done. So whenever these people are leaving the organizations, they are carrying out the tacit knowledge as well. So you can't keep the knowledge within the organization. I have seen this in the banking center a lot. Most of the time, right now in Sri Lanka, it has gone through economic crisis, and we face a lot of migrations. So in that case, many experts left the country. So then we face an issue as an industry. Many people who are experienced and knowledge enough, we no longer have them. So we have to recruit freshers. When freshers come, problem is that it's really difficult to train them and get this tacit knowledge. Whenever they met an incident, so they know what to do. So they have to go and ask a senior, hey, I met an this incident, what should I do? Customer came and blasted on me, so what I'm going to do? So what is the policy to do such? So it's really difficult to grab this tacit knowledge, because these things, everything's are not in written form. Even though those things are in written forms, like operation instruction circulars, people can't go through everything and keep them in memory practically. So most of the organization, they do have what you call knowledge bases. So even though we are having knowledge bases within the corporate environment, it's really not practical, I would say, go through these knowledge bases and find things and instantly, face and situations. With this all paradigm like courses, knowledge silos, and periodic training, content heavy stuff are falling under one way teaching practice or maybe learning practice. But the new paradigms comes, it comes within conversations or maybe networking with knowledgeable people, and also continuous adaptations. For example, when a new practice comes, now we were practicing agile scrum in software development ecosystem, in the software industry, and even the banking tech industry. Now we heard new terms like, okay, agile scrum, a new framework called per se this agile scrum makes people say, we might not know what it is, or maybe a totally new principle. Sometimes a Java programmer who was doing Java programming suddenly get a task with a circuit breaker pattern. The circuit breaker pattern which he hasn't worked with, but having somebody who has worked and networking with him and having built in a dialogue and conversation, this person can learn. So that learning initiated because of a need and also context aware. So this learning practice, something that you can really experience with whenever you are learning through ChatGPT or maybe Gemini or maybe Copilot, any sort of agentic platform, because this builds a conversation. This builds and connect with subject matter expertise. For example, initially when you want to learn what is circuit breaker patterns or may what is this object-oriented paradigm, this and that, you need to go and ask somebody who knows that, somebody who has done it. But now you can easily have a build a conversation with this what do you call Gen AI platform, conversational platform, and network with this agent and build your knowledge and improve your skills. So I I would like to tell this the transformation from automation of processes into learning automation within an corporate environment. This is that I'm trying to do within my organizations, which I haven't crystallized yet, but I'm working on that. So the first layer that I'm trying to do is automation layer. This, of course, very old. Many people tried automations of processes. They use generative AI or not generative AI. It's typical traditional AI and machine learning to do, data visualization for predictive analysis, forecast, this and that. And then eventually when generative AI comes, people try to automated processes or maybe use agents to do different tasks, this and that. So this is something very typical that you can see in any organization nowadays. And the next layer is intelligence layer. So whenever you have a task, initially you automate a task, but when you are performing a task, you need to interpret what it does and what's the outcome of it and what's the inside of it, this and that, reason inside of it. Initially, when you use a technology like RPA, it's very straightforward. If logics are met, then perform the task. But here, with this intelligence layer, there's a concept called React agents with multi-agent technology, means reasoning and actions. Here, not only automations, but you can do action side of it. So when it comes to reasons also, you can identify and do the rationales behind and identify rationales behind these reasons, why these reasons came from, and you can argue with these agents. So that builds an intelligence layer. Basically, like you actually arguing with a subject matter expert. Per se, you have a credit approval officer who's experienced per se nearly 35 years in the industry. And then when he or you perform a task, you can argue why these results came. So what's the cause of this result? And you can summarize and identify potential risk, this and that, and build different argument with subject matter expert. So this even without having human subject matter expert, yes, of course, you can try with these technologies. Right now, since my organization is using O365 environment, we do have this Copilot enabled for all the employees. Some organizations, they are using Google G Suite. Then by default, they get either Notebook LLM or maybe a Gemini. So different organizations, even though without their intention, this is automatically they are building these three layers. So next third layer is that, so not only I doing a task and summarizing it and analyzing and building intellectual arguments, this builds reflects back to humans brain, and having these arguments with the agents or maybe like building different networks within intelligent agents, the eventually what it happens is you become a subject matter expert. For example, the same example that I used, if you're arguing with the subject matter expert of a credit underwriting about 35 plus years, when you build this argument with this subject matter expert, what will happen is he comes with different arguments that you haven't gone through before, or maybe that might be a lessons to you. Then what happened is you learn. So forget about generative AI, even though you go and work with the subject matter experts for a number of months, when you come back, you will be a expert, even though you are not that much expert like subject matter expert, eventually you will be a subject matter expert. I get some couple of messages from the inbox. Let me check. Mm-mm. Right. Okay. Right. So these three layers. So even though organization are willing or not willing, it eventually these three layers are building. Right. So this I got from banks since I'm coming from banking background. So this might be relevant to other industries as well. So in banking, I would say certain processes, procedures, practices are split into different silos. For example, per se, credit card department, how to handle credit card dispute, or maybe how to onboard a merchant to the accepting cards. Various things are known to only to this card business people, card business silo, and how to handle a loan customer is on this tacit knowledge or maybe subject knowledge only fall in under this loan silo, and others also same, and it is scattered there and there. So per se, just in case if somebody wants to work as a card employee as a card department who's coming from a branch, might take some times to get familiar and learn processes and procedures, or maybe this what do you call operation instruction manual, this and that. But now what happened is banks, they create these knowledge bases. I'm trying to do practically within my organization. So these all these operation instruction circulars, or maybe guides, or maybe tacit knowledge, which we can whatever we can document, we can maintain that in a knowledge base. Having this knowledge base, we can use generative AI and use a technology called retrieval augmented generation architecture. Either we can use any LLM or small language model, and we can let people to question these documents. Having that, what will happen is these employees are able to go through this all these documents same as they are building a conversation with the subject matter expert. The subject matter experts, they have written this document and archive in a knowledge base in an organization. In my case, in my organization, the employees, they just come and ask questions, that's it. So having that, they build a conversation on conversational mode, they learn. So I'm having my department known as a innovation studio within the bank. So what we are trying to do, and what we are doing these days is we are gathering all this information and trying to build a knowledge base and build a agentic platform, let people to use it in the organization wide. Across the organization, anybody can become any expert. Anyone in the branch, per se, a junior executive level staff member can become expert in credit cards, how to onboard a credit card customer, what the credit card policy, how to handle the credit card disputes, this and that. Whenever customer comes, if ask a question, hey miss, how can I resolve my credit card dispute I face? This is my incident. I paid the two online websites, suddenly I got charged. What I'm going to do? Even a newcomer to the bank just can go to the given platform by the bank. It's a simple chat interface and raise the query. A customer came and this is the incident. What I'm going to do? Then it can use an answer based on the knowledge base that bank has maintained. This is what you should do as per the bank's consumer protection act policy, or maybe like bank's credit card policy, or maybe dispute policy. This is how you should behave, this is what you should do. And even the decisions employees can argue. So once they argue, what will happen is the whatever the answer this employee is going to give the customer is very rich answer. It's not a irresponsible answer. So that's complies bank's policy and also the knowledge base that we have maintained. So as a result, so what's the impact? The impact is that you can see with numbers. So these are some of the numbers that I have tried with couple of other organizations, not the current bank alone. For example, onboarding reduced by time to onboard customer reduced by 40% nearly. And one of the experience that I have with a global bank in US, it's reduced close to 80%. But this is something average. And support tickets drops 30%. This is in Sri Lanka, but in a global experience, in a global bank in US, it goes to 65 to 70%. And even the calls that we are getting to the call center went nearly like 65% dropped. And so when it comes to customer satisfaction, because people get quick responses and also accurate answers, also a responsible answer. So then customers won't have much of regrets or maybe like disappointments with the services they are getting from the bank, because they always gives a reliable answer and responsible answer. And also what customers feels is that the employees of the bank is very knowledgeable and experienced, because they don't see this, they are relying on an agent or they rely on this knowledge basis, this and that. The customer experience is the staff is very solid and very knowledgeable. The key lessons that I want to give you here: you can't transform learning until you treat knowledge as a living system. Because the my bank, the way I work right now, is founded 1888. It is all nearly 138 years old. So this is a British colonial bank. So we have employees who are working here, some most of their first job is the bank, so they are working here close to 35 plus years. We have very experienced employees, so their tacit knowledge and their experience won't be a waste if we can use them, write them, and store them in a knowledge base, and let newcomers to use this rack architecture and agents, and let them to build the conversations, argues, and learn. So this will not be the senior people's going and conducting classes or maybe delivering online videos and teaching them. It will be like their tacit knowledge will be a library, and then these newcomers comes and dig into this knowledge and learn it by themselves, and whenever they face practical issues. So right now, if you mandate a course to do them, like okay, they will come in a weekend or maybe 1 hour or 2 hour, they will go through a program, and when by the time when they go home, they might have forgotten. Even though we do conduct things like exams, what will happen is they will do couple of past papers or maybe practice to pass the exam. That will happen, but they don't get the real results. But when you build, when you serve knowledge in a form of conversational manner, or in a form of a manner that they can access whenever they want, per se, like they will face a professional challenge how to do a credit underwriting as a newcomer. So then they can, based on that need, they can ask assistance from agent and do the job, and then they will learn. It's a continuous process. Then this knowledge which comes from 130 years to today is a living system, so that keeps helps to continue the business further. So that will enlighten and help the future generation of employees within the organization. And so this knowledge become living assets to the bank. So like building a autonomous knowledge system, I get that into three phases within my practice with this current employment. So what I believe is that you have this electricity, cloud computing, uh, mobile phone, internet, this and that. So you access them whenever you want, and if you don't want them, you can discontinue, and you pay the bill as a subscriptions or maybe monthly. So knowledge also, I believe same, you can access whenever you want. Sometimes per se you are in a degree program, so you can't access whenever you want. The university has a very clear deadline when to submit the application form and how to select a candidate, and what the syllabus that they're going to learn, and what are the required exams or maybe practical test, this and that. So that's out of your control. You can't access whenever you want. But here, using this agentic AI and also this conversational knowledge bases, you can decide what time you want, what you want to learn, and also you can decide what the syllabus that I'm going to learn and how I'm going to learn. So today it is like AI assistant content creations. It generates the contents for you. Though that generated content you can learn. And next, what will going to happen is not only it's generate the knowledge, it's going to do the job for you. For example, per se, you want even today, if you want to draw a picture, you can ask Gemini, I want to draw a picture, King Alexander the Great riding a horse on a desert. You can learn about King Alexander and also give instruction to do the job. Then it will do the job. So you will get a paint of Alexander the Great riding a horse in a desert, right? So future, it will, today you want to prompt what you want to do, or maybe what you want to learn, and what are the information you want. Eventually, in the future, knowing this is per se, this is Dylan Vijayaratna, this is Henry, this is this user, the agents can sense what you are more desire of, what do you want to teach, and what are the more frequent things this person is asking. Based on that, it can adapt and produce the content, and it will be like a marriage. It will be a part of your body. So years back, when I'm a kid, I can survive without a phone. I can ride my bicycle wherever I want. I know where the roads, this and that. And eventually, when I start my degree, and then eventually I become a professional, then I had to communicate with a lot of people. I got a smartphone. Then eventually I had to use Google Maps. I use Facebook, LinkedIn, this and that. I had to take video calls. A lot of requirements came with my mobile device. And today it's really difficult for me to live without the mobile phone. It has become part of my life. And even my phone can identify me and my behaviors, it knows, and even it can identify my voice and everything. It has become part of my body, I would say, like maybe part of my life. So, agentic AI, no exceptions. You might have experience if you are using agentic AI or maybe ChatGPT or Gemini continuously. So, whenever you ask a question, per se, you are living in India or maybe you are living in Singapore, you might ask various questions. How I can import this per se laptop from United States to my country? How I can do this process? What is the process? This and that, and it will answer you. If you are ordering this item from United States to Singapore, this is the process. And nowhere you have mentioned I am from Singapore. Also, it will tell you if you ask what's the price, if there's any monthly installment payment, this and that, it will tell you based since you are working for a bank or maybe this institution, this and that, but you haven't nowhere you have mentioned that. So it will keep sensing you and who you are, and where you work, this and that. It builds that knowledge and improve that knowledge. Let me check the chat. Right. Mm-mm. Nerissa has asked a question. Let me go through. Uh, Hi, Dylan, in the learning layer, how do you generate the feedback from all the stakeholders that part of the particular system you are building? Example, credit card customers, how you get their input, and you determine how often can agentic individuals can access through third-party permission. Right. Well, so in the I'll talk within banking scope per se, like handling this kind of scenarios like credit card, customer informations, this and that. So banks, we actually more towards small language model than large language models, since we are doing very specific job, and knowledge base also remains within the bank. So we are a bit cautious, and staff at the moment they can't use this PII informations within this agentic framework. But eventually, when we are rolling out that with small language models, that will be possible. Then every information also will retain within the bank. Continuous uh, input. Okay. So the question is that how we get continuous input from the user. This conversational agentic AI platforms also embedded with their O365 or G Suite platforms. Same as they are using their email and message application MS Teams, they can use these agents. So it's basically like part of their job role, because whenever they are serving to customers, they are engaging with this agent same as they are engaging with their colleagues. Per se, your colleague is sitting next to you. If you met an incident, if you want some assistance, you ask your colleague. Same as that, you continuously communicate with these agents. Then what will happen is agents also understand you and sense you, and it will keep engaging continuously. Yeah. So some of the trends that happen with this future and of this conversational agentic AIs, most of the skills are gonna rely on this conversational agentic AI Gen AI platform. And agents also will be able to sense some of the emotions of the users, for example, say employees, and based on that, it will, personalize, I would say, like hyper personalize. So whenever you come and ask some of the assistance from your colleague might treat you in a way that she might not be treated to another person's, because you and your colleague has a, mutual relationship and personal understanding, because your colleague can sense you and you can sense your colleague. Those similar emotional relationships also coming in. And something that I noticed within my staff, I have few management trainees who are, they are like millennials. So something that I have noticed is that when I assign a task to them, for them it's really difficult to do without Copilot. So they always check for internet connection, or maybe they says, okay, let me get my laptop and come back. So these changes are, booming. And because I can clearly compare, I have some people who can really perform the job without this internet, this and that. And something that I've noticed with millennial is that they want internet and laptop to do that. So then when I question further, what they want is Copilot. Without Copilot, it's for them it's really difficult to do the job. So people thought like data will be like next fuel. Fuel industry, it's quite expensive thing, and it's a quite expensive industry. Then people thought that, data also will be something like that. And this data, I would say, it will be highly valuable if we can use that for some meaningful things. How you can use that for meaningful thing is that one is, of course, AI ML. To run this AI ML and AI machine, you need to have this data as well. Learning velocity of humans, forget about this. Gen AI, years back during the classroom time, and when we was in LMS, something that I have experienced is really less, because they are resisting to learn. Why? Because they are forced to do a course or program. But today, people are trying to learn whenever they want and what they want. When we recruit employees, also the more concerning thing was their knowledge, and or maybe their attitude and skills. But something that I realize is that whenever I recruit people to my team or be to my organization, what should I worry is not the knowledge they have, or maybe not the skills, or not the GPA they have for their degrees, but do they know how to learn? Or maybe like their velocity of learning, how fast they can learn something, right? The key skill for somebody to, become talented or maybe qualified enough to for a job or maybe do something, what I believe is it is how fast you can learn something. Because knowledge is not something will add a value to your future or maybe value to your career, because knowledge is already there with large language models or maybe on the internet, this and that. People don't have to be memory, because having a knowledge, yes, of course, it is of course limited because you can't keep everything in the world in your head. But knowledge is something that you can use to produce something impactful and beneficial to you and others. Right? In order to do that, you need to have skills and you need to learn how to use this knowledge for something, to achieve something. Then the key fact is how you can learn and what you learn, how fast you learn. For example, I recruited Java software engineers years back, or maybe Python engineers. What I did was like I tested their skill, how well they can do programming, this and that. And suddenly, when I change the technology stack, if he's a software engineer, I wants to know how fast he can convert to become a Python engineer. For some people, it takes a longer time. Some people, it takes less time. Something that I have noticed is people who can learn things faster and change their stacks time when they were needed are the real, key skill. But if we recruit very smart people for Java, for example, and if he can't change, if he's not willing to change, and if he can't learn something new, now, I don't think it is sustainable for organization to recruit a person like that. The key skill and competitive advantage for tomorrow is learning velocity and the speed. And we have heard and faced industrial revolution and agricultural revolutions and internet revolutions, blockchain, this and that, various hypes. The revolution that I see today is cognitive revolution. So having a degree program or maybe a PhD, even though per se, somebody can go through this program and this person will be a learner within this specific time period. And then after that, people might not even know what they have learned sometimes. I don't know how many of you remember what you have learned during your preschool period or your school period, right? So some people might know, but I don't think you remember 100%. But having conversational and generative AI, people become lifetime learners. It's lifelong learners. Like it's like having a teacher or guru next to you and you are like married to a guru, so you can always keep asking, build arguments, learn. If you ask a human guru, he will get angry and frustrated when you keep asking ton of questions. But this guy won't get irritated by asking questions or maybe answering you n number of times and whenever you want, this and that. So we were thinking that most of the time from our lectures and most of the science fiction movies also, AI is learning from humans, right? So we were expecting how will AI learn from us? We talked about machine learning, this and that. So now we are learning from AI. The best example is think about students who are trying to get assistance from ChatGPT to do his assignment, university assignment, or maybe somebody who missed his class trying to cover this his subject from ChatGPT or Gemini. So we are learning from this generative AI. So even though some academics or maybe like most of the university community or school community, even though they see this as a negative thing for students, those who are doing his studies because they can misuse this and that, what I'm thinking is that improve the efficiency of learning process, because people are learning whenever they want, what they want, so enhance the efficiency of learning. Right. Next, I might have a couple of questions to you, if you don't mind. Right. Can you hands up, like at least hands up, how many of you are using ChatGPT or Copilot or any sort of Gen AI platform for your learning or maybe day-to-day jobs or maybe for your career? If you don't mind, can you just drop me a message? Yeah. Okay. Uh, okay, use ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. All right. So let me tell you a good example. I recently had, okay, ChatGPT Copilot. Okay. So recently, uh, I had to go through a training program to learn Chinese language. So I love to learn Chinese language. I watch Chinese movies, this and that. Then I felt "Okay, I should learn Chinese language. Then I went to a online teacher, online tutor. Then I went through the program. So during the program, I could learn how to communicate, how to write basic for China, basic Mandarin language, this and that. And then suddenly, after a couple of years, maybe a couple of times, I don't even remember the basics. Only thing I know is ni hao, da jia hao, this and that. And I remember, okay, uh, washer she hanyu. I'm learning Chinese. Washer she hanyu. So that's what I remember. Apart from that, anything else I don't remember. So now what I do is when I want to recap my syllabus, I go to ChatGPT or maybe Gemini Copilot. I'm asking, okay, teach me how to count from 1 to 10 in Hanyu. Hanyu means Chinese language, Mandarin. So it tells me, sure. So he teach me how to count. So then again, whenever I want to build a conversation, teach me how to start a conversation in Chinese language, how to do this in Chinese language, this and that. I couldn't find a Chinese speaker who's living next to me to talk, but now I'm trying to communicate with ChatGPT or Copilot to teach me and communicate with me in Chinese language, right? So I have a desire to learn language, so I build a conversation with this agent, so it teach me. So any of you have similar experience? Do you use in such manner? All right. Okay, that's it, Preetham. Thank you for listening. If there's any questions, you can ask me.
Wonderful, Dilan. Thank you so much for insightful session. I request all the participants, if you have any questions related to this session or for Dilan, please feel free to drop all the questions in the chat box so we can check and we can take all the questions from there. And meanwhile, I would like to inform you all that I do have some great announcement for all of you. So stay connected till the end. So we'll be taking it. I'll just quickly check if we got any question across live platform, Dilan. Just allow me a minute.
Sure.
Okay, this question from Ritika. Can generative AI truly personalize learning paths at a scale, and what's the minimum viable setup for that? Dylan, do you want me to repeat the question?
Yeah. Can you come again?
Yeah. So the question is, can generative AI truly personalize learning paths at scale, and what's the minimum viable setup for that?
Yes, it does. So if you're using a premium version of either ChatGPT or maybe Copilot, you suppose you can create your personal assistant or personal learning agent. Then you can tell what your setups are. For example, I'm a grade 12 mathematics students, what I'm interested these subjects. For example, I'm interested about to learn linear regressions per se, or maybe I might interested to learn discrete mathematics. So I can set the context. For example, I'm not familiar with discrete mathematics before, and I have failed my mathematics couple of times. My mathematics knowledge is this level, this and that. You can tell to this agent, this personalized agent will assist you based on that. So while during the conversations also it will understand you. For example, it'll while during this conversation per se you are doing mathematics, it'll you can answer to various questions that it asks. Also you can uh, communicate or maybe prompt to the agent your expectation out of this program or maybe conversation or maybe this learning process. I want to be a PhD level or maybe this level expert, so guide me through this workflow. It will work through. So what you need basically is minimum viable things. Just have a GP, Chat GPT or Copilot or DeepSeek, whatever the preferred platform. Most of them, they won't provide these things free of charge, but you can have paid personal assistant. Then of course you can have it. It's very easy. Another thing that I can tell you is that if you are using Google, you can use a notebook LLM. So having notebook LLM, you can upload, if you are a student, you can upload all your course materials there, then it will become customized knowledge. For example, per se, you're a computer science student, you are learning software engineering or computer science. Then you can upload all your degree or maybe your program material into notebook LLM. Then it will give you agent, you can ask all the queries and also it will teach you. Plus you can create a custom notebook saying that like for example Java object oriented programming subject, a project, all the materials you can upload into that, then you can ask it to teach you. So that is pretty much customized thing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I don't see any questions here in the chat box. However, we got one message for you, Dilan. Satayu is saying, explained very nicely and with no basics, no questions, with basics, but no questions right now. So I'm glad that participants have understood your session very well. And I can see one question that we'll be taking as a last question for today, and then we'll proceed with the closer. So the question that we have got from Aniket, in decentralized or remote organization, how can generative AI support peer learning and real-time knowledge sharing?
Yes, best example is my organization. So we have close to 250 plus branches and close to 6,000 employees. And my previous place also close to 300,000 employees. It's a global bank. Uh, Having distributed uh, is the best qualification or maybe a best suitable use case to use this kind of technology. Why I'm saying like that per se, distributed organizations always the knowledge, tacit knowledge are silos wise. For example, people living in a ABCD branch, XYZ totally distracted and disconnected. So now having single repository of knowledge, you can allow all these branch network or distributed network to consume same single knowledge base. How that can be done? For example, if you are using uh, enterprise level Copilot or maybe notebook LLM or maybe other product, organization wide you can have a central knowledge repository and then you can create a simple interface for all the decentralized branches or maybe network, I would say, for them to prompt and query the central repository, central knowledge repository. This is actually the concept wise, this is how ChatGPT even work. You know, ChatGPT, people across the globe, billions of people are using that. So millions of people are using that. But where's this knowledge is? Whereas this knowledge is remains with OpenAI, a central process, but decentralized, most of the people are consuming this knowledge and also managing hallucination and contextualization. For example, decentralized organization might want a set of a subset of organization wants to restrict the knowledge within that area. That is also possible. Per se, think about the banking industry. So we have 250 plus branches, 50 branches per se. For example, we want to restrict the knowledge, a local knowledge that 50 alone, and rest of the branch network shouldn't access that. Yes, of course, that control is there with the enterprise level generative AI platforms. So, for example, Copilot and Notebook LLM from Google. So the advantage of using this kind of technologies, this decentralized organization and employees can consume equal amount of knowledge and also they can learn equal amount of without any restrictions and also efficiently. So there won't be any distractions between these entities as well because centralized knowledge becoming decentralized experience. So why organizations should use this kind of technology also because if they're decentralized too much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for answering all the questions so far. I would like to inform participants that I have shared Dylan's LinkedIn profile link in the chat box in case if you have any further, or in case if you're looking for any further interaction with him, feel free to reach out to him. I believe he's more than happy to take all your questions over there, or he would love to communicate with you all. So I do have some great announcement as I mentioned earlier. So before I proceed and before I take the handover of the mic, I would love to hear final thoughts from you, Dilan, for all our participants today, and then we can take it.
Sure. So my final message to you all is keep learning. So how you can learn is you can become your own teacher, because as I mentioned across this speech, so you are the one who decide who you are. So not a university, not a school, not a government or somebody else, right? So this has given enough freedom for you to decide what you want to learn, how you want to learn, and also no matter where you can learn. So use this opportunity and don't get this as a threat. And if there's any and from academics, my message for you, don't get this as a threat. See this as an opportunity for you to improve, because potentially what will happen is those who get away from this will be cornered in the industry. Those who are, getting into this will be the ones who are going to lead the future, or maybe the change makers, or maybe the ones who need by the organization like us, like banks and other industries. So that's my message to you all. I believe all of you got something new or maybe something useful from my speech. Yeah, thank you for listening.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dylan, for your inputs here, and we'll definitely look forward to have more opportunities with you, right? So thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for being here and for this wonderful session. So I do have some great announcement, so I'll quickly finish it up. So here, this is regarding the today's feature certification that we had a session on. So you can opt out for any of these certifications: certified generative AI for HR and L&D, and certified professional coach. You can use this promo code, which is coach AI20, to get amazing discount, which is 20% off on this certification. So you all must be aware that these certifications are globally recognized one, and you will be getting a lot of learning resources, which means you'll be getting case studies to work on e-learnings and book of knowledge. These certifications are lifelong learnings, which gives you learning flexibility, and you'll be getting chance to connect with our training partner channel, and you'll be having a lot of opportunity to work on the capstone project, that is something real-time AI simulation practice. So do grab this opportunity. I've already shared the offer details along with the promo code and the link in the chat box. This is utility tool. You can use this August 100 to get 100% off. This is only for our webinar attendees. This tool is very important, and it is very amazing. It will help you to build your LinkedIn profile score, your AI skill score. Also, it will help you to build your personal brand, and also it will help you to build your AI generated resume. So check this tool out. This is completely free for all our webinar attendees. I've already shared the utility link in the chat box. I'll share it again if you want after this announcement. And also, I'm very happy to inform you all that we do have this another webinar series scheduled from 3rd November to 21st November 2025, with a time slot that is 10:30 p.m. Singapore and 9:30 p.m. 9:30 a.m. Central. We do have amazing panel of speaker aligned for this as well. So do join us for this session, and you can also refer your friends. So there's another webinar series that we have scheduled on ISO 42001 and ISO 27001 across industry. And as you can see, we have incredible panel of speaker aligned for this as well. This is happening from 3rd November to 21st November, with the time slot that is 10:30 p.m. Singapore, 9:30 p.m. Central Time. So please do join us. I've already shared all the registration link along with the WhatsApp group link in the chat box. So this is AI tool challenge, which is we have been running since 18 August onwards, and we have scheduled this for 100 days. So this is the challenge where speaker are giving us a live demo session with practical walkthroughs. So do join us for all these sessions as well, with the time slot that is 12:30 a.m. Singapore and 11:30 a.m. Central Time. And thank you so much for spreading the word. We do have these three winners who have referred maximum people to our session. I would love to quickly show you all where you can check your referral reward points, how many points that you have earned so far. So simply you have to go to our website and have to check our event web page by clicking event and upcoming events. Here you'll able to see, right? So this is our ongoing event. And if you scroll down a little bit under the leaderboard legends, there is a search bar. And if you search your name over here, you'll able to see. So we have a Preeti on, she have topped at our leaderboard by referring maximum people. However, you have to earn at least 50 points or more than 50 points to be winner. Right, and after that, we'll be definitely getting back to you for the winner, for the rewards which is worth $400, right? So refer maximum people, referring people to sessions like this, you are taking a step ahead and becoming a thoughtful leader, right? So refer people, and top three winner will be featured on the wall of fame, as I showed in my slide. So top three people will be featured on the GSDC wall of fame. And in case if you want to be speaker for our upcoming event as a featured global speaker, you can definitely reach out to us, as we do have platforms like global platforms like Learning Capsule, Webinar, and Podcast. And we would love to connect with you all over social media. Scan this QR, connect with us over LinkedIn. Check our website www.gsdcouncil.org to get more information on certifications that I've mentioned earlier, and to check all the offerings that GSDC has for all of you. Also, connect with us over the WhatsApp group to get daily update on event boot camps that we often conduct. And please do share your valuable feedback on Trustpilot. You will find the link in the chat box. Thank you so much for joining today's session. I hope to see you all for the upcoming sessions as well. Until then, take care of yourself and keep learning. Thank you. Thank you, Dylan. Bye, everyone.